What's up, you guys? This is Steven, and I'm back with another photo analysis. This time, I'll be analyzing the cover of Koda Kumi's single, Candy. And this was the 7th single of Koda Kumi's 12 Singles in 12 Weeks collection. Okay, for the single, Candy, the cover of the single, it's supposed to represent the continent of Africa. Not the country, the continent of Africa. And Africa is, again, it's a continent, and it has a variety of different, cultures and ethnic groups, and even different types of people, different races of people and things like that. So, like, this one photo is supposed to represent a continent, and in my personal opinion, I don't think that this really represents Africa really much at all. Um, you know, and the reason being is the clothes that Koda Kumi's wearing, or the clothing that she's wearing. It's, I don't know, it doesn't really look African to me. I know, like, what does African look like, right? I'm going to go with more of a stereotypical look with my definition. And, I'm thinking something along the lines of what you would see on, like, a dashiki or kente cloth, something like that. And to me, that what she's wearing doesn't really look African. I'm not sure if that that head wrap is supposed to be a part of the African thing, but I'm guessing it is since it's in the photo. But I don't know. I don't really know where they do that at. What country they do that in, Koda Kumi, where they do that at. But nah, I don't think that's really African either. You know, although I'm pretty sure that African women do wrap their head. But I don't really think this is really an African thing. Like this look right here. To me, this look would be more so along the lines of like maybe like Middle Eastern or East Indian culture, perhaps. But even then, you're kind of missing the mark there. Her fingernails in this photo, they're zebra print or black and white. Well, they're not striped, but it seems like she was going for like a zebra print, that type of look. And yeah, zebras are in Africa. All right, I'll give her a pass on that. But her other nails on, like some of the nails are zebra print, but some of the nails are just blue. So what's up with that, Koda Kumi? And she's wearing these like these bracelets or wristbands, or I guess more or less they're like bracelets. Um, and I don't know. I guess that might be African, maybe. You know, I don't like. I'm not going to pretend like I'm like the authority on the continent of Africa because I definitely am not. But there is sort of an image that you have of places, and I don't think this image really reflects any place non-stereotypically as well. I don't think it reflects any place in Africa non-stereotypically as well. I don't think it reflects any place in Africa stereotypically. I don't think it really represents Africa. Although I will say that I like Koda Kumi's, I like her skin tone. I like the skin tone. I think she wears it well. Um, but she's kind of coming off as an East Asian more so than, well, Southeast Asian, I should say. Southeast Asian. You know, more so than an African. A sub-Saharan African. I don't know if she was going for like, a Northern African look where it's more like, what people think of like Middle Eastern people. or maybe more, the South African mixed color look. I think she was going for like a brown look. So this might be maybe like an East African thing. Maybe like Somalia, Ethiopia, maybe a look like that. Maybe, I don't know. You know, from the sources I got, they said that this is supposed to represent Africa as a whole. Um, but I think I'm going on for long enough about the African part anyway. She didn't she missed the mark for me personally. Nevertheless, I think it's a nice photo. Let's see, her posture and her like pose, it looks a bit awkward. It works. I think overall it works, but I think she kind of lost her neck a little bit, and her hands look a little awkward. Just a little bit. And also, I think that her facial expression could have been a little stronger. You know, Overall, I think it works. It's not as strong as it could be, though. It could be she could have taken it a bit further with, just giving them more neck and giving a slightly stronger facial expression. Um, um, the single is called Candy, so the theme, I assume, is candy, and I don't really see that theme represented at all. But you know, what's new there? I don't think. I think that's pretty much the theme of Koda Kumi's singles from the her 12 weeks, like 12 singles in 12 weeks collection. I think that's the theme, that she doesn't interpret the theme. At least in the ones I've seen so far, like a lot of them, she pretty much she just ignores the theme of the single and just puts a picture there. And like I've said before, like if you ignore the theme, if you don't interpret the brief, then you got to deliver a good photo. You really need to deliver a good photo. And overall, I think she's delivered a respectable photo here. I think she missed the mark on a lot of things, like the theme and the culture of Africa. Yeah, like Africa itself is just. I think that's a hard thing to interpret. So I think she should have went a bit more stereotypical of what people think of when they think of Africa, perhaps. I mean, maybe this is a look in some African country. Maybe. I'm not, I don't want to pretend like I'm the authority, because I'm not. But to me, it just didn't scream Africa. I think had she changed the clothing, I think that would have helped. She didn't she could have darkened her skin a bit more, but she could, she didn't have to though. If she just changed the clothing, I think that would have helped. That would have helped, bring a more of an African influence into the picture, into her photo, you know. But I have, I've bashed this photo a lot, but I will say that I do like that background. I like the background. I like that coloration. It looks like a sunset, and like me personally, I like that coloration of sunset, So I definitely give Koda Kumi and her team props for the background, because I think it works and it doesn't come off as like totally empty, like there's some of her photos from this 12 weeks and 12 weeks 12 singles and 12 weeks collection that come off a bit empty in the background, like there's no dynamic in the background, like it doesn't really serve any purpose. But with this background, I think this background is really probably the best background I've seen thus far in Koda Kumi's 12 singles and 12 weeks collection. Like the photos or the single covers. I'm not sure if there's anything else I can really say about this photo. I think I've said about all I can say. I will mention that if you look at Koda Kumi's finger, there's some weird thing on like her like ring finger, but like it's like on her ring finger. It's a little bit on her middle finger as well. It looks like a lock of hair or something. Like, what's up with that? What was that about, Koda Kumi? Yeah. But I have bashed this photo a lot, but I think it's a nice photo. I think it's a respectable photo. I just think that it just like ultimately, I just think it missed the mark with the whole African thing, and also not interpreting the theme. But overall, I think it's a nice photo. It could have been better. She could have been a bit, had a bit more life in her pose and in her facial expression, as well as her eyes too. But overall, I like it. I like Koda Kumi's skin tone in the photo. I like the background. Um, you know, so I even like the bracelets too. You know, I like the head wrap, but I don't I like the coloration of it and things like that. But I just don't think it really seems to reflect Africa. And her outfit is okay. Again, I just don't think it reflects Africa. You know, that seems a bit more. It looks like it's almost like maybe some type of an Asian influence. I don't know, but like I said, she does look kind of like more like a Southeast Asian woman than an African woman. A sub-Saharan African woman. And I don't think she looks like a Northern African woman either. Maybe she could pass for an East African woman. Who knows? Southern African, I don't know. But overall, it's a nice, respectable photo. So hey, what do you guys think? Feel free to tell me your opinions. Feel free to leave your comments, your criticism, concerns. Feel free to give my video a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support. But thanks a lot for listening to me give my opinion. But for the time being, adios and goodbye for now.